Hi everyone. Hi. I'm back. My voice is 90% back. I missed out last week because I couldn't talk. It's the first time I've ever completely lost my voice. I wasn't even sick. It just went away. But today we're going to be talking about lunch boxes. And like I just said on my little intro texty thing up there, this is not lunchbox tips like, hey, you should chuck this in your kid's lunchbox, or how to create, beautiful, colorful lunchboxes, although that is what I do love doing that. Who loves making a lunchbox that's got like 1,000 colors in it? That's me. But I'm not actually going to be going through that. I did do one a really long time ago that went through the nuts and bolts of some really great healthy choices for lunchboxes. But I actually really want to go through some of the bit more of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on with the things that we're putting into our kids' food. Hi, if you're jumping on, hi Fiona, Nicole, Sam, Laura, Sonia, Kerry Lee, Michelle, and Heather, and Anne-Marie. Hi guys, thanks so much for your little likes and loves. I really love it when you guys interact like that and let me know that you're out there. I thought this would be timely because it is back to school next week. Who's got kids going back to school? Whose house looks like a bomb went off? I'm looking around at this room now. I dare not even turn my computer around and show you. It is so bad what is going on here. This looks good behind me. But yeah, we're not going to twist it that way and show you what's really happening. Yeah, so the kids are back to school, but actually it's funny. It's kind of worked out really well timing wise, because I am actually over the next couple of weeks, you can jump onto an 8-week healthy eating challenge that we have. And I'm going to be offering some one-on-one coaching through that, which I don't normally do. But because I really want to step into, show it, said, okay, maybe I will. I really want to step into helping you guys one-on-one, because I know so many of you are messaging me and asking me for help and things like that. And this 8-week challenge is so fantastic. It is such a great way to really get into how to bolster and really improve how your family is eating, just in general, but also really focus on yourself and getting all of that nutrition in. And if you've watched my lives if you're a mum and you've watched the ones on postnatal depletion and things like that, like this is so important for you guys, because if you want to really live optimally and be just like shining bright and being alive and lit up on the inside, then it is so important to do that foundationally from the way that we're eating. So the 8-week challenge does start soon, and I am offering one-on-one coaching. It comes with hundreds of recipes and meal plans and exercise guides and whatever you want to do. But the one-on-one coaching is only limited. I'm only giving out 5 spots for that. Because I only have so many hours in a day. So it's just going to the first 5, okay? And I already have some people who want the spot. So if you want a spot, then please let me know, pop it in the comments or message me, because it will just be first in, first served, okay? So hello, hi everybody. Hi Adele, Laura, and Georgie and Hans. So someone wanted to see what my house looks like. That's my husband. My husband wants me to show you what my house looks like right now. Yep. And yep, you can't even really see what's going on the floor over there. It's entirely glitter. It's just all glitter. It's a carpet of glitter. And I've lived with it. So I've just let it sit there for 2 days. I'm like, oh, I'll get to that at some point. But I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not the only one whose house looks like that. Right, guys? Oh dear, I'm not known for my housekeeping, that's for sure. All right, so the topic of kids is really important. Going back to school, this is really important. Hi, Karen. Hi, Chrissy. Oh, hi, Adele. I did say hello, didn't I? Yeah, so it's really important because as parents, and I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you're probably a parent. As parents, we decide whether our kids will thrive in their life or whether they're just going to survive. And what's happened is that, okay, so the way that we are now, we have more information, we have more research, we have more food, we have more amazing scientific medicines than ever before, but we are facing the first generation for hundreds of years, like hundreds of generations. Life expectancy has always gotten longer, right? So people used to live till they were 30, and now people are living till they're in their 80s. But for the first time, our kids are the generation that is going to live a shorter lifespan. And the reason for that is because of the way that we're living. It's the foods that we're eating and it's our lifestyle. So we're the parents, guys. We're the ones who decide whether our kids are going to fit into that prediction or whether they're going to be ones that go, no way, I'm going to live till I'm 90 or 100, right? We get to decide that. So that's why this topic of lunchboxes, as small and silly as it is to go, what am I going to fill this with 5 billion times, right? Because how many times are you going to do this through their school life? It might seem really trivial, but it's actually really important because they're going to eat so much at school, right? They spend a lot of time at school. Hi, Karen. Yes, I just gave a few people a look at my messy house. So if you came on later, you'll have to go back and have a look. Hi, Maya and Jacqueline and Nate. Hi, guys. All right. So, okay, I'm going to fly through this a little bit because I've got a bit to go through. But when it comes to lunchboxes, there's two main things. What you leave out and what you put in. So they're the two sections we're going to look at. And within that, there's 2 things and then 6 things. Okay, so I'm going to try to get through them really quickly. So let's talk about what you need to start leaving out. A few years ago, I had a friend who her daughter, well, she would say like she was a little bit fussy. She didn't eat fruits and stuff like that. But she said that one day she looked at her daughter's lunchbox and realized it was made up of 100% packaged foods. Everything in there was in a packet or a box or a container of some kind. And so packaged foods are things like, chips and those crackers with the like fake cheese dips and muffins, muesli bars, even things like juice boxes and yogurts, anything like that. It's all packaged foods, right? The problem with those packaged foods is that they don't actually have any nutritional value, and they're actually like denutritional. That's not a word, but they're anti-nutrients. The stuff that they contain is an anti-nutrient in our body. So not only are they not providing anything to your kids, they're actually taking good stuff out of your kids for your body, for their bodies to be able to like fix the damage that they're doing. So every time we're feeding our kids those packaged foods, it's creating this effect in their body that's this anti-nutrient effect. So 2 of the big issues in these packaged foods is that they pretty much all contain sugar. And that's processed sugar, refined sugar. They contain trans fats, but they also contain chemical colorings. So they're the 2 things I really want to talk about, sugar and the food colorings. And funnily enough, my kids today had, I wasn't there when this kind of happened, but they had cake with this like an inch thick bright blue icing, and when I saw it I just went because I knew what I was going to be talking about tonight. I was like, no. So anyway, so we're going to go through that. Okay, the problem with sugar, I've done a whole entire live on sugar. Please go back and watch that one. There is so much, well, I'm not going to lie, it's really scary what goes on with the whole sugar thing in our diet. But when your kids, like, we might notice sugar affecting us in certain ways, but for our kids, they're so small, and the amount of sugar in kids' foods to make it taste sweet is insane. And what that does to their teeny tiny little bodies, it makes them go wild. They cannot control the what's it called? The blood sugar spike that goes on is just like bang, and they're just on speed. They just go, right? So, we go, oh my gosh, my kids are crazy this afternoon. Maybe it's because they ate a cake with 1 inch thick blue icing on it, right? There is so much sugar in that. And that stuff is in everything that we give to our kids that's in a packaged food. Because, it needs to have that. Processed foods, once they take, processed food is typically kind of mostly man-made. So when you make a man-made food, it tastes like nothing. And I've actually watched a thing by a guy. It's descriptive, isn't it? I watched a TED Talk by a science guy who was saying that he went to a factory where they made packaged processed foods, and he tried it before it was finished, and it literally tasted like metal. And that's when they chuck in gobloads of sugar, gobloads of sodium and MSG to try to make it taste better. So it actually has like no real taste to it until they add all this other stuff in. That's what our processed packaged foods is. So when we're giving our kids lots of that in their lunchbox, they're getting a massive hit of sugar. Do you think they can concentrate when their body is just racing on the inside and they're just going, whoa, whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then they're supposed to go sit down on the mat and listen to the teacher? Like, it's silly. 1 + 1 does not equal 2 in that instance. You can't expect your kids to concentrate while at school when their body is going crazy. Okay. So even something small, even you know, I don't want to be all like, you know, crazy about it, but you know, even little things can have a big impact on your kid. Okay, so yeah, basically you're giving them, it's kind of like giving them a fake upper, you know, like that's what it's doing. All right, so even juice boxes are just the way that our body uses it. It's just sugar. Okay, so you might think, oh, they're having juice. It's great. It's fruit. It's natural. Yeah, it's not. The way that it works in their body, no, no, it's sugar. And yogurts are really high in sugar too. So unless you're giving them plain Greek yogurt or coconut yogurt with no actual like flavors in it, then it's going to have a lot of sugar in it. And it's going to have lots of coloring in it. Because isn't it funny, you can buy strawberry yogurt with real strawberries in it, and one of the ingredients will be a red kind of food coloring, because everything has to look bigger and more vibrant and more amazing than ever before. It's like this visual dopamine hit that we have. Did anyone see the carrots that I posted up earlier this week? My deformed, demented carrots. Those are real carrots. Those are carrots that made it, you know, they're organic carrots grown, and that's how carrots will often look when you grow them yourself. But we're so used to this kind of plastic food that is bigger and brighter than it really probably should be when nature creates it normally. Okay. I forgot to say at the start too, please share this. Like I do these so that you guys can like get some info, and I didn't even say who I was. Hi guys, I'm Pauline Hatch. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the shop tonight. So yeah, please share this if this helps you. If you think there's someone else that it might help, please share it. I forgot to say that at the start. That's why I do this, so you guys can share it. Loved those carrots. Yep, our pants carrots. Yeah, some of them, a lot of them went into the juicer. So I was really sad. I was like breaking their legs apart. Oh, it was terrible. Anyway, okay. So, yeah, so packaged foods. So food colorings. All right. Food colorings are something that I know I have been using them and eating them since I was a kid. Like, you know, who made whatever, cakes, rainbow cakes, and put food coloring in them, and you've used them in your Play-Doh and all of that stuff, right? Like, who grew up with eating food coloring? The thing is that there are some countries that have banned those food colorings because of the effect that they have on people. And there are companies that use these awful food colorings in our food, in our kids' food, that somehow magically are able to create natural, okay food colorings for those same products in the countries that have banned them. So there is the ability there for us to have food colorings that come from food. So beta carotene, like, you know, you get it from pigments of food. So beta carotene comes from carrots, saffron, beetroot, blueberries, all those things are awesome. Like, how many times have you accidentally stained something in your kitchen because you were using beetroot, right? So there are really great natural food colorings we can use, but companies choose to use synthetic chemical food colorings because it's cheaper, okay? So while if you do some research, you'll see that everyone says there's no conclusive evidence that food colorings harm us, all you need to do is go into any kind of child behavioral specialist person and they will tell you, yes, they do. Because some kids with really high behavioral issues, you take food coloring away, they're a new child. Like, the evidence is there. Even if we're saying it's anecdotal, the evidence is there. These food colorings, like, sensitivity will change. Some kids can't have a single drop of it. Some kids can't even touch it in Play-Doh because anything you touch on your skin gets absorbed in. So some kids are hypersensitive, but there's no way that we were designed to consume something completely man-made, chemical. If it's going to have that effect on anyone, just stay away from it. And again, if we're giving that to our kids and it's making their brain go just wild, we again can't expect them to go in and think and learn and behave optimally in the class. Chances are they're going to go in and start punching kids around them and getting scissors and cutting their shirts and doing all this other stuff that I've seen kids do that I go, what? Why are our kids doing that? But yeah, the evidence that's out there to show how food colorings are affecting our kids, it's really crazy. And it is in so many of our kids' foods because they want the food to look really bright and colorful and appealing to kids. So, and actually I was reading something, a study, I can't remember what it was from, and it was saying that there's 5 times more food coloring in our foods now than when we were kids, like my generation. So I'm generation Y, I think. 5 times more food coloring in our foods now. And this is the problem. Like, a lot of people say, you grew up on food coloring and, you know, you're okay. Well, not really, because I've spent a lot of years being really, really sick. But also when you look at how much our food has changed, even just in the last 30 years, you can't compare that anymore. You can't say that, you know, you grew up that way and now it's okay, because everything has doubled, tripled, quadrupled in the amount of bad stuff that's in our food, right? Who understands what I'm saying when I'm saying that, okay? So we can't talk to some people who go, oh, no, I grew up like that. Just, you can't listen to that. You've got to listen to what's happening now, because the world is always changing. We have to adapt. We have to stay a step ahead, and we have to do this for our kids, okay? All right, I have missed like a 4 billion, I'm sure there's lots of carrots. There's a lot of carrot comments. So terrible. Yes, it is really terrible. Thank you for sharing this. No problem. Yeah, red, yeah, hyper on red cordial, yeah, for sure. Red is one of the worst ones, for sure. Okay, so let's go on to getting away from that and going on to what we can put in. So those are the things to leave out. Now, if you currently find that your kids' lunchbox is kind of like a lot of packaged foods, that's okay. There are lots of bridging foods. I use almost no packaged foods in my kids' lunchboxes, but if you're looking for bridging foods, there's some really good cleaner options that you can have. This is one that I happen to have. We use these sparingly, but these are great. Like, even though they are dried fruit, so they're still going to be higher in sugar, but if you're trying to wean your kids off muesli bars and things like that, then, you know, you can find some really great stuff in the health food section that will help your kids go at least into something healthier. So rather than, you know, putting in roll-ups, there's these kind of things that are like those fruit straps kind of things, but at least these ones are 100% fruit, even though, yes, they're going to be high in sugar because they are just concentrated fruit with all the fructose. It's better then, okay? So they're good for like helping your kids transition over. All right, so let's talk about what we can put in. Fruit. If your child says they don't like fruit, I would say all of them. You don't like any fruit? None? Out of the 200 fruit varieties out there, you don't like any? No. If your child says that, they're really saying, hey, give me another muesli bar because I don't like fruit. Hey, give me some of that strawberry sugar-filled pink yogurt because I don't like fruit. We can't really just sit back and go, oh, my child knows best. They know their tastes. They know what they're doing. They can't eat fruit. This is where it comes back to just, guys, you guys are the parents. Like, you know, if you have a child who is what you would classify as fussy, then this is where you need to step in and go, okay, we need to figure this out and start broadening what they eat, okay? I'm going to talk a bit more about that in a second. So great fruits for lunchboxes. Berries, they're really low in sugar, but they're excellent for your brain, especially blueberries. Blueberries are kind of like, they're such a, like, they really are one of the best fruits that you can eat. Really low in fructose, but what they do for your body is incredible. They're really high in antioxidants with that, which we all need. But for our kids, they help improve brain function and short-term memory. So just put in blueberries. There's, like, you cannot go wrong with blueberries. They're perfect for lunchboxes. It's like the Lord made them for lunchboxes, okay? But strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, they're all great as well. So berries are really good for that reason. And apples are great too. Apples actually have something in them that reduces our stress levels. Like, it helps our anxiety and it activates the brain. So those fruits are really, really great. So even if you can just get your kids to start looking at berries and apples, that's an awesome win for their lunchbox. Proteins like boiled eggs, or you can do like curried eggs or eggs in whatever way, are really good because they have lots of protein, which is really great for stabilizing our energy levels, and also great for brain health. Okay. Dark chocolate. My kids love blueberries. Yes, my kids sit there and eat frozen blueberries and you should see their faces afterwards. It's hilarious. And I just go, yep, go eat up. I don't care. That's better than that blue icing that you had all over your face today. So dark chocolate is actually very, very good for you. Oh, I have one in my cupboard that I meant to show you. But anyway, there's some really great brands you can get. I think one of them is called, someone can tell me if I'm wrong, Green and something. It's in my cupboard. Anyway, try to find a dark chocolate that has no sugar in it and has like 70% cacao in it. Cacao is really good for you, and it's very, very, very good for your brain, and it's okay for our kids to have in small amounts. So you can put in a couple of little blocks of this dark chocolate. So your kids might not like it to begin with because they're so used to eating chocolate that is full of crappy dairy and loads of sugar. But you can get them to like it, especially if you put it into, make a little, not with sugar, but like biscuits or something with like chocolate chips in it or something like that. So dark chocolate is actually good for them. That's a way that you can help give your kids a treat that's not just loaded with sugar. It's in the top shelf on the right. My husband's finding the chocolate, so it's green and black and gold. Oh, he's throwing it at me. Oh, green and blacks. That's the one. That's a really good one. That has cacao, raw cane sugar, which is fine, cacao butter, and vanilla extract, and that's it. So that's the kind of one that's really good. Okay. Avocado. Okay. Avocado is like blueberries. Total one of the best things that you could ever eat, and the best thing you could give your kids. It is like sometimes I look at food and I go, it kind of looks like the thing that it helps the most. And maybe an avocado doesn't look like a brain, but for some reason it reminds me of a brain with that big seed in the middle, like that's the brain inside your head. Okay, just don't worry. That was a path we didn't need to go down. But good fats are brain food, basically, and good fats feed every cell in your body. So if you want your kids to really be able to concentrate and learn, give them good fats. They absolutely need it. It is brain food, okay? There was a Netflix, there's a show on Netflix called The Magic Pill, and not Chris Evans. No, he's an Avenger. Pete Evans did this documentary, and in it they went with this family. They did a thing with this family who had a 5-year-old girl who, I think she was really high on the autistic spectrum, I think, and very low functioning. And her diet consisted entirely of those, you know how Americans have those little fish crackers? She lived entirely on those and Doritos, and that was it. And so this crew came in, and these experts in nutrition and whatever, and they put her on a really high fat diet and took away all of the processed packaged garbage foods, right? And for 5 days, this girl ate nothing. She was nonverbal, so she would just, anything they tried to put in her mouth, she just chucked it across the room. Their house looked worse than my house. So, but anyway, on the 5th day, she started eating because she had no choice. She had to eat, right? So she started eating, and it was like her body just went, oh, this is what I needed. I didn't know what I needed, but now I know what I needed. And she started absolutely smashing this food. She was eating vegetables and all these really fatty meats and broths and all this other stuff. The change in her cognitive ability was incredible. She turned into a verbal little girl who started talking to her mum and dad entirely because of the foods they started feeding her. It's brain food, okay? Good fats are brain food. That's why it's so important. Like Fiona just said, it's good for women in pregnancy. That's why it's so important to have lots of good fats in your pregnancy. So I would really highly recommend, if you are pregnant, or you're looking at getting pregnant, or you've just had a baby, please message me. I have the best good fat supplement. It is incredible. Message me and I'll get you onto it, okay? Because you need it. Like we are undervaluing fats in our life, and we're seeing the consequences of it in our kids. So please message me. I can get you onto a really good one. All right. Someone mentioned, who said cucumber and carrot sticks with hummus. Okay, so something I had in my notes was, if your child doesn't like avocado, that's okay. You can hide avocado really well. And one of the things I said is you can put a little bit in their hummus. Chickpeas are great too, which I'm going to go through in a second. So if you can put some hummus and avocado together, that's great. My kids two of my 3 kids will eat will eat avocado just straight out of the avocado. Bit of Himalayan salt on top. I put a bit of lemon juice on top to stop it from going brown if I put it in their lunchbox, but they'll just sit there and scoop it out and eat it. But yeah, you can also, if you do give your kids sandwiches, we don't do breads and sandwiches in their lunch boxes, but you could use it instead of butter as well. Whatever you can do, little steps, 1%. That's what we're going for, 1% changes. So avocado is really great too. Chickpeas are awesome. So chickpeas speed up messages to and from the brain, okay? So it makes your brain more alert and more active and stops that tired feeling from your brain. So yeah, hummus is made from chickpeas. So that's really great to have in there, and you can make your own so it doesn't have all the stuff in it. A lot of them have preservatives. All dips pretty much have preservatives in them. Yeah, and you can make roasted chickpeas as well. There's some great recipes online, or you can buy them, but you can just make your own. And they're really crunchy, really yummy, a great alternative to chips and stuff like that have trans fats in them and things like that. So that's really good. And then vegetables, a few of you have mentioned veggies. Baby cucumbers are great. Those little mini cukes, they're awesome. Cherry tomatoes, sliced capsicum, and have a dipping sauce if that helps your kids, but just try not to buy a crap one with lots of garbage in it. Make your own, make a hummus or a dip. There's so many great dip recipes online. I think I might have even done a live about dips to give your kids. I can't remember now. Something like that rings a bell. Fiona said, I think God sends us a message in an avocado. It looks like a worm with a little bubba in it. Yes, that's exactly right. And you know how tomatoes, when you cut open a tomato and how it looks with the 4 quadrants, and that like tomatoes are really heart healthy and they look like a heart. Like how awesome is that? So yes, I do believe that our food gives us messages. Sherelle said, so Fiona said, freeze them, then blend with cocoa, honey, and a touch of coconut cream. I'm assuming you mean avocados, not chickpeas. Fiona, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, that would be like a mousse kind of thing, wouldn't it? That's a great idea. Sherelle said, so hard to find dips without preservatives. That's why I got a thermo. Oh, thermo is on my list. Yeah, that's right. I make a lot of my own dips too. Avocado and goat cheese is one of my favorites, and lime juice. Yeah. Okay, so if you're thinking my child would never eat those things, then yes, you have some work to do. Basically, you've got 2 options. You can say, my child knows best. It's all okay. They've got their whole life to be healthy. I'll just do what's easiest now. That's one option. The other option is to say, this is not good enough. And continuing on the path of least resistance is going to actually possibly end your child being a fulfiller of the prediction that our kids are going to have a shorter life expectancy, be the first generation to do that. So there's 2 options. Like you can fight for your kids, or you can kind of go, oh, it's a bit hard, I'll do it later. The problem is that later turns into, you know, habits that they take into their whole life. So you can choose to give them good habits, and you can choose to just let things go. So yes, I'm being a little bit hard. This is, I don't know what, Pauline's straight talk, okay? The problem is not your fussy eater, okay? Fussy eaters are not problems. The problem is when we lay down and allow our kids to be fussy because we've labeled them as fussy and decided that's the story we're going to live with for the rest of our lives, and that we can't do anything about it because they're fussy. I have had to work with my kids. I know lots of mums out there have had to work really, really hard to broaden how our kids eat. So if you've got a fussy eater, you can give me a like or a love or something. Let me see how many of you watching this. There's a lot of you watching this right now, and I would really love to see how many of you would say, yes, you've got a problematic child in your household. I worked really, really hard with one of my kids, and he's 11 now, and he is such a great eater. Tonight he ate corn and salad and like a full-blown, you know, proper salad with a homemade dressing, and he ate the whole thing. And yes, it took him like 40 minutes. Who cares? He still understands the value of why he eats that. Yeah, there's lots of you. Yes, lots of likes. Yeah. Okay. I heard a really great, oh my gosh, wow, okay, I missed it. There's like 1,000 going up now. All right. I heard a really great analogy a few weeks ago, and it stuck with me, and I'm going to share it again. If we saw a 7-year-old standing on the side of the road, just like smoking a cigarette, right? Just taking some drags on a fag, we would all go, oh my gosh, like what is happening? Where's the parents? What is going on? That child is like slowly killing himself. Like, what the heck? And yet we watch our kids eat foods that are making them ever so slowly more and more and more sick, right? That it's putting them on the path of future sickness. And we all just go, that's okay. What? It's normal. This is what we do. We eat processed foods. That's the way we are. And we shouldn't accept either, right? Because they're both harming our kids. So we can either decide that that's okay, or we can decide it's not okay. I've decided it's not okay. And what I know is that there are so many of you who have also decided it's not okay, or maybe tonight, right now, you've decided that it's not okay, that you actually do want to make sure that your kids grow up to be as incredibly like healthy and lit up and vibrant and disease-free, right? The diseases that we're dying from are diet-related diseases. Cardiovascular disease is a diet-related disease. It's completely preventable and it's actually reversible. But we're dying from it in droves, and that is our kids' future too, unless you and I do something about this. So if you want to be more on board with this, please reach out to me and let's do this together. That is what I'm here for. What I want to create more than anything in the whole world is just a movement of like tens of thousands of mums who step up and go, I don't care if I'm the mum at a party going, no, my kid's not eating that blue icing, you know. Let's do this. Like, we have the power. The more numbers that we have stepping up and going, this is what we're going to do, the more power we have against the Western diet that has been dictated to us since our parents were kids, right? We were taught this, but it can stop with us. We can stop this cycle. And there's so many of you have been on tonight, which shows me that there are a lot of parents out there who really do want to do better for their kids. And all it takes is a little bit of education and a little bit of passion and a little bit of perseverance, okay? A lot of it about helping our kids is about perseverance and not giving up, because your kids are so worth it. Imagine if we together were able to take that prediction that our kids are going to be the ones to die younger than any generation before them and stop it. Imagine if we were the ones who were able to go, no way, that prediction is going to actually disappear because of what we do with our kids. How awesome is that? Who wants to be part of that? Seriously, like, we can do this. It doesn't take much. It just takes a lot of us sticking together, okay? Because we can be the ones to create that change. All right, that's my rant. That's my Pauline Straight talk over with. So I see a future. I have a dream where one day we will go to kids' parties and it will be full of fruit platters and there will be vegetables, and it won't be food colorings that make it bright and beautiful. It'll be this incredible rainbow of beautiful whole foods, and our kids will love it. And it won't be the weird mum standing on the corner going, no, you can't have any of that sugar. Who's the one everyone's going, oh, what a, wet blanket. It's not going to be like that. I totally see that happening, because we are working out now that what we've done for the last 50, 60 years is not working. So we're going to be the ones to change it, right? Yeah, I know you guys are with me. All right. So I said at the start, if you've jumped on a bit later, oh, hang on, sorry. Oh my goodness, there's so many comments. Nicole says, I find explaining why it's bad and just not buying it is best. Yep, if it's not there, tough luck. Totally, absolutely. If it's not there, they can't eat it. And they will, like that little girl, they will find a different thing to eat. Like, they won't starve. Yeah, Aria, I know, Lisa. Michaela, you're not being hard at all. Our kids need to be healthy. That's more important. Absolutely. We are the parents. Yes, you are so tough. You guys can do this. Hi, Angela. Fiona, I'm in. Yeah, awesome. Michaela. We'll be sharing. Yes, share this. Oh my goodness, share it, share it, share it, share it. Let's start this movement, girls and boys. I shouldn't exclude the dads. Would love some, Silvana would love some skills. Yeah, I am going to put some stuff together on that, because I've had 11 years, or well, 10 years, I suppose, of doing this, and I am skilled up. You know, I love to research. You know how many books I read when I was trying to figure out how to get my child to eat anything other than bread, because he would throw up everything that wasn't bread. Don't forget Grandpa. Yes, you're so awesome, Hans. Hi, Kerry. Hi. Okay, cool. All right. So I said at the start that I do have we have an 8-week challenge coming up. It is like quite focused on weight loss and really like getting your health kick-started. So if weight loss is your goal, awesome, please do this. The results are incredible. But even if you just want to really get yourself and your whole family on board and start changing the way that you're eating and start moving some stuff around in your life to create more health, wealth in health, right? Then jump on board this 8 weeks, because it's really, really great. It's great to give yourself like a bit of a deadline to work towards. And I am offering one-on-one coaching, like seriously, one-on-one with me. Let's do this. I want to help you break some habits. I want to help you, clean up your pantry. Oh my gosh, what else? All sorts of stuff. I'm going to help you do all of it, okay? Because I've done all of this myself. I know exactly what I had to do this. I'm not a unicorn. I am exactly like you. I just have had a lot of passion for a very long time to do this for my family. So yeah, let me know. You can say I'm in, or yes, something, I don't know, whatever in the comments. Maybe don't say yes, because a lot of people said yes. Say I'm in, or me please, or something like that, and I'll contact you. I only have 5 spots for my one-on-one coaching, okay? So let me know, because first in, best dressed. Once they're gone, they're gone. I can't do more than 5. So let me know, and yeah, let's do this, girls. And let me know, post our photos of your lunchboxes. I'd love to hear it. Let's keep the conversation going, because the more input we have from more people, the more we can really start to affect a lot of change. Imagine if you take your child's lunchbox to school and all the other mums are like, oh my gosh, how is your child eating so well? And then you can tell them, and they can tell their friends, and all of a sudden the movement gets bigger. So yeah, so share away, keep the conversation going, show me what you guys do as well, to get more good foods into your kids and their lunchboxes. And yeah, let's start changing it for our teachers too, who often tell me how bad our kids' concentration is at school and things like that. So, all right, awesome. I'm off. And yeah, let me know if you'd like to be part of the challenge. Let me know if you want to know about the omegas as well. Please, 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 please get on these omegas. They're fantastic. And let's do it. Fist bump. Bye, everybody. Thanks for the love. Bye.